Even though some people know the evidence and the science, they still choose biased reasons for decisions they make. We are human and we let our emotions impact our choices. My question is, how can we get more scientific reasoning over biased reasoning? That is what this paper looked to discuss. They state at the start that scientific reasoning is characterized by commitments to evidence and objectivity. But under some conditions, people reject these commitments to scientific reasoning and instead use motivated reasoning and bias. The authors discuss different contexts where people explicitly devalue scientific norms or reasoning and regard biased reasoning as good reasoning. An example they gave was when people believe it is appropriate to assume a friend's innocence, even when the evidence suggests otherwise. You might believe in the evidence, but be motivated by other reasons to dismiss it. The study referenced in this paper found that people sometimes treat the moral value of a belief as an independent justification for beliefs, and on that basis, sometimes prescribe evidentially poor beliefs to others. In essence, using their values as beliefs, leading to motivated reasoning rather than scientific reasoning. This paper sits in the philosophy and epistemology literature discussing knowledge, morals, values, and other terms that are not easily quantifiable. But there are trends, correlations, and tendencies that appear in studies which we can use. Research suggests students put more effort into learning about topics that they think are important, and people are more curious to learn about topics that they expect to be useful, making choices on feeling or motivation rather than scientific evidence. An instance described in this paper suggests values might influence the decision to pursue research to produce a vaccine, and even the level of evidence demanded before the vaccine is distributed within and beyond clinical trials, but values should not influence whether scientists believe that the vaccine is safe or effective. In this image, the authors show the relationship between value inquiry and belief in the scientific ethos. The scientific ethos being a model of belief formation, stating scientific reasoning is the only way, so evidence, objectivity, and open-mindedness motivated by accuracy is the correct approach. But as shown in the image, social and moral values impact our inquiry into forming beliefs. If we don't rate something as valuable with worthwhile trade-offs due to our own morals, values, or motivations, then the evidence would be impacted, changing the beliefs we form about the concept, topic, or idea. For many people, moral and personal concerns are perceived to have large roles in inquiry and forming beliefs. This could lead to people being unaware they are searching for evidence in biased ways. Confirmation bias, unaware that they apply double standards for propositions, favouring the evidence that is consistent with their beliefs, unaware that they over-rely on discredited sources like intuition and under-rely on useful information from objective metrics. One study mentioned in this paper found participants tended to use optimism over accuracy. It isn't clear if it was associated with inaccurate beliefs or instead from a feeling or attitude towards the information, but biased reasoning was preferred. Those familiar with the meta-ignorance research I have expressed on this channel before might be making a connection here between unknown unknowns and read-around knowledge to bolster their claims, potentially over-claiming, like we see in the hypo and hyper cognitive research. So we know we have tendencies to take biased reasons over scientific ones, but what can we do about it? One suggestion made is that actively open-minded thinkers temper their confidence in others who show biased reasoning. Studies showing they are more accurate with their assessments of other people's opinions and are less susceptible to fake news. But being open-minded is a bit too broad for my liking. There is discussion about belief reasoners making others form similar beliefs, spreading potentially fake news. But on the other side, scientific reasoners being very harsh about judging illogical reasons and those without evidence. Something that irritates me a little. As the authors mention, it's no secret humans are biased reasoners, but throwing evidence at someone doesn't help. Interventions on the perceived value of scientific reasoning could get better results. Biased reasoning is not necessarily bad reasoning, just like rational errors from the meta-ignorance literature. But boosting the perceived value of scientific reasoning could help illuminate misconceptions, biased preconceived notions, and open individuals' minds to other possibilities, like the metacognitive achievement tasks suggested in the recent paper I reviewed. This leaves me with the questions about effective ways to boost the value of scientific reasoning in areas of online learning, like putting the references in the video description somewhere or showing the logic behind the points made, but also reinforces the notion of biased reasoning not being bad, like my opinion on the tools I use, such as Obsidian over Roam, Remnote, Notion, etc.